Did you guys hear the story about this French scientist? This thing baffled me. So a French scientist was entering the US and he supposedly got chosen for a random search by US Customs and Border Protection at Houston International Airport, Intercontinental Airport. And as he was coming in, this French researcher, they searched his stuff, in this random search, and they started going through his messages. They started going through his messages, trying to look at the type of stuff he's sending, and they find messages that are critical of US President Donald Trump. And according to the language that it's being talked about from the testimony we got, he was being told that they believed that these comments could be of a terroristic nature. And then they turned him around, detained him for like 24 hours, and sent him back to Europe after taking his shit. And this has become enough of a scandal that the France research minister had to come out and make a statement about it. We're deporting people for calling Trump names and for not liking Trump enough. How thin-skinned, how much of a thin-skinned loser do you have to be for somebody to think that they're going to move up in any position by doing this for you? I learned with concern that a French researcher, this is the French research minister, that a French researcher on assignment for the French National Center for Scientific Research, who was traveling to a conference near Houston, was denied entry to the United States before being expelled, said France Minister of Higher Education and Research to Agence France Presse, published by Le Monde. This measure was apparently taken by the American authorities because the researcher's phone contained exchanges with colleagues and friends, and with he expressed a personal opinion on the Trump administration's research policy. Freedom of opinion, free speech, and academic freedom are values that we will continue to proudly uphold. I will defend the right of all French researchers to be faithful to them while respecting the law. A diplomatic source told the French news agency that the incident occurred on March 9th. Another AFP source said that U.S. authorities accused the French researcher of hateful and conspiratorial messages. What? What does that mean? I'm sorry. This is the United States, okay? A decent percentage of Americans have hateful and conspiratorial messages on their phone. In fact, I would say the majority of Trump's voters might have had hateful or conspiratorial messages on their phone. Or maybe a plurality. Who knows? Who knows? Either way, this is the United States. That doesn't matter. Who cares? It doesn't matter. He could be in his phone saying that Donald Trump is a demon possessed by the devil himself, who is behind every massive atrocity that man has ever known. And that the best thing that can happen is for Donald Trump to be dropped into a volcano. And if he says that, he's allowed to say that. Because freedom of expression. This is something supposed to be fundamental. He was supposed to be the free speech president. We were supposed to be able to tell jokes again. We were supposed to have the joke police coming around and telling us what we can and can't joke about. What we can and can't say. And here we are. You haven't properly saluted dear leader. What pro-Trump song do we have to dress up in uniform and do a little march? Probably revenge for that French senator's speech going viral. We're supposed to have due process. We're not supposed to do tit for tat. Oh, one of you said something mean about us. Well, we're going to deport your researchers. One of the things I said that was going to be painful about the Euro-Atlantic split that I don't think people properly appreciated is the scientific and research component. When we split militarily, when we split culturally, when we split ideologically, these splits are also going to affect research. These splits are also going to affect different, research institutions or scientists being able to work with each other, being able to work across borders with ease. And I think some people might be surprised to find just how much it can hamper your process of trying to advance research if you're not able to work with the best of the best from countries that used to be strong American allies and friends. Hateful and conspiratorial messages. He was reportedly also informed of an FBI investigation, but told that charges were dropped before being expelled. The Department of Homeland Security did not immediately respond to a request for comment. The research minister had been outspoken in his own criticism of the Trump administration, Elon Musk, for making such huge cuts to research budgets. On the same day that the researcher was denied entry, Baptiste published a letter calling on American researchers to relocate to France. Many well-known researchers are already questioning their future in the United States, he wrote. We would naturally wish to welcome a certain number of them. The next day, he posted a photograph of himself in a virtual meeting with a researcher at the University of Maryland School of Medicine. Oh, that's a few miles that way. Who had decided to take up an invitation from the Marseille University to welcome researchers who wish to live in the United States. On March 12th, he shared a video on X of a television appearance in which he deplored the way that research on health, climate, energy, and AI is being chainsawed in the United States. It was not immediately clear what conference the researcher was denied entry was planning to attend, but the 56th Lunar and Planetary Science Conference was held outside of Houston from March 10th to March 14th. My God, thank God we are so much safer that the astronomers coming to America are not too critical of Trump. I was scared that that dude looking in a telescope might think Trump's stupid and how that could hamper our national security. How did we become bigger pussies than the French? Sad.